Good morning everyone, and welcome back to my videos. Well, I think it's been a while, I think probably nearly 1 month that I didn't make my videos, but here I am back again. Well, so today is something different that I'm going to talk about, and which is how to overcome the depressions or the stresses. We all work in different places, in different organizations, in different professions. So regardless of what we all do, what we all are in, I think we all receive different stresses in different times. Maybe most of the times at our work, or maybe sometimes. But yes, we do receive it, and that really affects our lives, our everyday lives, our relationships, or our everything sort of thing. So the point is how to overcome this very vital thing and be happy. So for me, I think there are 2 steps that we can do it. Is basically first thing is the thought process. I mean, we need to change the way that we think. Well, what it is? Well, in organizations we receive different comments from our colleagues, from our bosses, from the customers, or from the management. So whatever it is, we think that why is it happening to me? Why is it not somebody else? So here's the thing, like, if we can think in a different way, that I think the way we are, the world is a kind of mirror. So first thing, we need to think that is it my fault something, or is the organization's fault? Well, we are working in the organization, so we cannot change the organization. That's number 1. So number 2 comes in. Obviously, when I know that it is not my fault, but probably if I can change myself the way the organizations want, or the way the way something wants me to be, I need to change that. So I need to become something which suits the organization's thought for me to be. So I think that solves some of our problems, and it's something or the other. Everywhere it is there. If I'm trying to be more specific, which is for me, well, it's something for everyone, to be honest. We all work in different places in different times. Well, I started with a company in my own city, Calcutta, when I passed out my college. Well, worked there for nearly 2 to 3 years, and so in 3 years' time, I received a lot of things which is still benefiting me in sort of whatever I'm doing. But I received a lot of things again as a form of depressions and stress, because of which I had to leave the company at some point. And then things changed a bit. I joined another company in another city, and there also I worked a few times. So after working a few years, at least a couple of years, we saw that this is again. So yeah, after working nearly a couple of years, I found out that there's something happening which I'm not liking, or which I'm thinking that it shouldn't be happening. I mean, it is not good. And also, I changed the company, and then I joined another one. Well, at that time as well, basically that time it was the time that when I came to the UK. I started working with a company that was one of the best companies in the world, but still, you know, it was one particular company in a particular place. So I worked there for 1.5 years, and also found out that something which I liked, something used to be very, very helpful for me, and I used to be really happy working there. But then something on the other side was kind of not very good. You know, so I don't want to mention what it is, but then I just want to be generalized, just to give a generalized opinion that whatever we do, wherever we do, and then no matter what, we will have difficulties in you know, everywhere. So the point here is, we all want a kind of stability, okay? So now there are exceptions out there. Well, people who are working in a kind of government organizations or something, government supported organizations, something like this, things are kind of different to them, but then these are few. So apart from these fews, in general sense, where people work mostly non-governmental organizations, things are actually like the same everywhere. So which means we always find difficulties, we always find some sort of stress, we always find some sort of you know, unhappiness within the organizations or within the workplace. So the thing is, how to overcome it? Now, as I said, the step one should be the way we think. If we think about nature, you know, what it is now. So that nature has got different seasons. It's got rainy seasons, it's got summer, it's got winter, it's got autumn. So every season has its own something good to give us and something bad to give us as well. So this is the same thing applies to the organization. So let's say if I talk about rainy season, all right? So rainy season, if I ask like 10 people, out of 10 probably 5, 6 will say, well, I don't like rainy season, and 3, 4 might say, well, I like rainy season. So people will say, why I don't like rainy season, because it you know, it's shit, and then it's raining all the time. We cannot work. We cannot go to work conveniently. You know, the buses or the trains, they get delayed all the time, and we cannot ride. We cannot drive. Well, we can drive, but then obviously at some point it gets, you know, it gets flooded everywhere. It gets a lot of traffic, blockage on the road everywhere. So that's the bad part of the rainy season. When we receive and when we think, then we get depressed and we become unhappy. And the good part of rainy season to the people who like is, they say, well, the water is life, you know. We should be thankful that we are receiving this water from the God, you know. What if we do not receive it? I mean, if we get less rains, obviously in the field of cultivations, you know, farming, we all live on our food. So when this is true, just imagine if the rain stops, what's going to happen to cultivation? What's going to happen to farming industries and everything? Yeah, if they stop having the water, nothing is going to be producing. And the same thing, well, it's going to be dried up. Just imagine, there are some countries where it doesn't rain a lot, especially you know, countries like Saudi Arabia, Gulf countries, where it is so dry. It is so dry that these countries are formed on none other than the desert. Yeah. So just imagine how artificial energy are getting used to run these sort of countries. We know that because of less rain in Saudi Arabia or countries like this, they have to utilize more of the energy and power to build a house with air conditioning and with some sort of facilities of water, pumping just very underground, down from the underground. Yeah. So that's this is the way that we are thinking. I mean, we are thinking this is bad, but at some point we're not realizing the fact, well, it is actually helping us, right? So what we need to think, what we need to do is thinking in a different way. We need to think that way. Actually, it is good for us. Every sort of thing has got two perceptions. Like say if I talk about a coin, it starts from everything else. This coin has got two sides. So one side might be good, so obviously there will be other side, right? Think about the world. So the half of the part of the world when it is sunny and it's a day, the other part is the dark. So that's the way it is. But that doesn't mean that the darkness, whoever is having the darkness, is actually bad, because it is coming around. So because there is darkness, we can feel how important the light is in our life. So the same way, it comes again in terms of the season of summer, this season of winter. If somebody says that, well, I don't like winter. I don't like to cold countries or stuff like this. I don't like when it is 0 degree or it's 5 degree or it's minus. So here it is again. I think we need to change this the way we think, because it's the nature. It's the nature, and we can't avoid it. What we can do, we can change ourselves, right? So I don't want to discuss much more about these seasons to give the examples and to exemplify the thing that I want to discuss. All I want to say is, if we think in a negative way, we cannot be happy. We never gonna be happy, to be honest. So why don't we think that, well, whatever happens and whatever happened, it is just continuous thing. But then the thing is, what I should do about it? Well, I should just get over it, Meaning, there's something we can do about how to overcome this sort of depressions and this sort of thing when it really affects in our life, which is we can change ourselves. Meaning, we need to think that why it is happening and why it happens. Every sort of thing happens every sort of where in the world. There should be a reason. Nothing happens without a reason. So when we know this truth, then we know that if something happens to me, or something happened yesterday to me in our everyday relationship or in our everyday work life, there should be a reason. So what is the reason? If the reason is genuine, then we need to change it and why it was. So simply, we need to act the way that the organization wants us to be. We need to act, or we need to work the way that somebody wants us to be. Yeah, and I think that solves the problem. It's everywhere, to be honest, because if we think, if you are working as a supervisor or a manager in a field of job, and you got some subordinates and you got some management, right? So if you see, it's down the line, it's like a chain, right? It's like a chain, and if I try to be more specific, if I break it down, the organization's goal is how to